Hi, I'm Joel Neves. I am professor of music at Michigan Technological University. I am the music director of the Keweenaw Symphony Orchestra and the Superior Wind Symphony in the Visual and Performing Arts Department. The Mahler-Resurrection Symphony, I think, is the GOAT of all symphonies, the greatest of all time. It's the Michael Jordan, the Muhammad Ali, the Jack Nicklaus, the Hamlet, the Beatles, the Rolls-Royce of symphonies. No other symphony takes you on such an emotional journey like this one. It starts with death and despair and pain and ends with the glorious redemption and resurrection. When you experience Mahler's Resurrection Symphony, it is an emotional thing. Many people are brought to tears. It shakes you to the core. You think about it for a long time. It changes your life. Just like any great play or movie, you watch it and you wake up the next morning, you're still affected by it, and it affects your life in a beautiful way. And so I think Mahler's Resurrection Symphony is a powerful testament to humanity. There's no other symphony like it. Mahler's Resurrection Symphony is such a huge endeavor because it requires one of the largest symphonic forces in the orchestra repertoire. Also, we're here at Michigan Tech, which has sort of a tiny population in Houghton. It's a geographically remote place. We don't have a music major here. You just don't do Mahler's Resurrection Symphony in these parts. And so we've had to do a UP-wide call for all the musicians. So we're going to bring in people from the Marquette Symphony Orchestra, from downstate Michigan, from Wisconsin, and as far away as Kansas to bring it together. And so for the symphony, you need to have a large orchestra and a large choir. So we're bringing people from all over the place to make it happen. This will be probably the largest contingent of people on the Rozsa stage ever for a choral orchestral performance. And so we actually had to practice it this week to see if we can actually fit everybody. So we did a mock setup on stage to see if we could even fit every single person on stage, and we barely can. And so we will be able to do Mahler's Resurrection Symphony on the glorious Rozsa concert stage. Also, Mahler's Resurrection Symphony goes for about an hour and a half. The typical symphony, about 30 to 40 minutes, so it's really, really long, and there's no intermission. And so it takes sort of a special endurance and energy and spiritual sustenance to perform it effectively. Mahler famously said that a symphony should contain the entire world, and no other symphony of his comes closer to that objective. Mahler felt that a symphony should explain what the human condition is like. It grapples with existential questions of the human soul. Why is life so painful? Why is death so tragic? What is this life all about? Why are the happy moments so fleeting? Will man really rise again after death? Is there really hope? It's a powerful, powerful statement. And Mahler felt that the best way to do this was by writing a symphony that had orchestra and chorus, just like Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. So the symphony is broken into 5 movements. Usually a symphony is in 4 movements. The first movement is a dark funeral march. The second movement is sort of a nostalgic, happy little dance that reminds one of the good times, the joyous times when life was happy and simple. The third movement is sort of a dissonant, shrieking dance that has a chord that is so discordant at the end, it's called the death shriek. The fourth movement has a title, Primal Light, and the contralto soloist invokes a great question: why is humanity in such agony? And the soloist sort of gives a prayer to God, saying, please release me from this. Bring me to heaven. Give me the promised eternal life and rest of the soul. The fifth movement is the grandiose finale. It goes for about 30 to 35 minutes. The fifth movement itself is as long as complete symphonies are. I think it's the greatest finale in all of music. It invokes biblical themes. It has the Day of Judgment, the great call for the rising of the souls who are dead from their graves. And then the chorus invokes the theme of redemption and the great resurrection of all mankind. It's absolutely stunning. The symphony takes you on this journey from death and despair to innocence to hoping for eternal rest to the great resurrection. There's no other symphony that sort of takes you on that adventure of starting with darkness and ending with a glorious, triumphant finale of hope, joy, and ecstasy. The Mahler Resurrection Symphony performance is a very special event for me, for the orchestra, and for our community. It's never been performed in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So this is the UP premiere of the Resurrection Symphony of Gustav Mahler, 132 years after it was written. This is also a special culmination of the evolution of the Keweenaw Symphony Orchestra, 45 years in the making. It was formed in 1971 as a tiny chamber ensemble, and then grew into the full symphony orchestra we have today. And we're performing it in the beautiful Rozsa Center for the Performing Arts. And so this is a very special opportunity for people to hear the orchestra in all of its splendor, to hear some of the best musicians throughout the UP perform this titanic composition. In fact, one of the first concertmasters of the Keweenaw Symphony Orchestra, going back to the early 70s, Gene Purdom, is going to perform with us in the Mahler's Resurrection Symphony. Gene is an amazing person. He got his master's degree from Michigan Tech back in 1975 in nuclear physics, and then decides, what the heck, I'm gonna be a classical music DJ. So he becomes this DJ for the NPR station in Lansing for 37 years. Then he comes and joins us. So Gene is a special connection back to the roots of the Keweenaw Symphony Orchestra. This performance is the coming together of most of the great musicians in the Upper Peninsula. You need to do that when you've got a big symphony like this. We've got people from Sault Ste. Marie, Marquette, Iron Mountain, Hancock, Calumet, Houghton. We have tech students, tech faculty, high school students, community members, professional musicians, people from downstate, Wisconsin, Kansas, you name it. And so I think it's a special historic opportunity for us to display the very best music making that we have in our region. This performance is the culminating finale of the Rozsa's 25th anniversary season, and we're so proud of what the Rozsa Performing Arts Center means for us and for our community, the only professional performance hall in the UP, and we're very honored to be able to present this in a closing finale of the culmination of the 25th anniversary of the Rozsa. Mahler's Resurrection Symphony is a life changer. If you've never been to a symphony before, this is the one to go to. It will alter you. You'll remember it for a long time. It takes you on a beautiful emotional journey that forces you to think of life, what it's about, in all of its pain, tragedy, and beauty and triumph. You don't want to miss it.